สบายดีทุกคนยินดีต้อนรับข่าว YouTube ของไอไซมอนและสบายดีไอ้ท่าวฟอร์ดอยู่เวียงจันทน์ And for those of you who don't speak Lao, I just said hello and welcome to everybody. Welcome to my channel, and hello to my friend Ford in Vientiane in Laos. My name's Simon. I'd like to welcome you back to my channel, and yeah, that was a slightly different start to usual, but there you go. Welcome to my world where everything's slightly different. So I'm just popping down to the bike shop. They're fitting a new front tyre to the bike today, and with any luck I might even be able to video that and add it to my channel. And then I'm shooting down the coast a little bit pushed for time today, down to my brother's place. I'm going down for my birthday dinner because yesterday was my birthday. Drop me a comment. Well folks, welcome back. I went to the mechanics, had the new front tyre put on. Unfortunately he didn't really want me to be videoing everything. I would have loved to have, because I mean, hey, even I got to learn some stuff, but that's alright, we'll get to do something another day. And besides that, you know, he doesn't want it videoed, so all good. That's what happens. Look at that, that's interesting. The inside of that screen on the GoPro Hero 9 Black is all fogged up. I had a friend of mine query something after watching one of my videos on YouTube. He said he thought it was quite weird because I took my right hand off the throttle. So I can take my right hand off the throttle because I got cruise control. Electronic cruise control. So it's set on 100 and it'll maintain 100 quite nicely. So okay, the first up impressions that I've got of the Motoz Tractionator GPS tyres that I now have front and rear on the bike. Now I haven't got to take them off-road as yet, but the rear tyre has done 250 kilometres or something. The front tyre has now done around about 5. I can say a fair bit about the rear on tarmac only. Goes through a lot of twisty, bendy, lovely bits of road on my trip up to Ebor Falls. Link is up there in the usual place, or if you're watching from that camera, up there. Motoz Tractionator GPS tyres. Rear tyre on tarmac, when you accelerate hard, loses traction really quite easily when you're standing straight upright. I think that's because of the ridge down the centre of it, which is of course what gives it a lot more longevity, getting, you know, anything up to 20,000 kilometres out of the tyre. So rear tyre is a little bit slippery when you first start off if you're not careful. I do have traction control on almost completely full. Laying down around corners, grabbing into corners and so on, even though it's a new tyre that's only just been worn in, it's done really well. I went around some really cracking bends on my Ebor Falls trip, and it grabbed in pretty well. I didn't ever feel like it was going to let go on me. Once I'd done the first, 100 kilometres and I knew that it was kind of worn in a little bit from twisting around bends, I didn't feel that it was anything of a problem. Front tyre with now about 7 kilometres worth of travel on it. The first thing I can tell you about the front tyre is it is grabby on tarmac. Just grabbing into the edges of dips in the road and pulling. Now that's probably really good when you're on dirt. feels slightly disconcerting on tarmac, but that said, I've done 7 kilometres worth of travel. Wait for the tyre to bed in a little bit, wait for the silicone coating to wear off as I do my ride, and then see how it goes after that. But at the moment, first impression straight up is it grabs in a lot on any sort of a divot in the road or whatever. It also grabs in as you're trying to turn a corner or whatever, and it just feels strange. But that is probably more so because the battle axe tyres that were on this didn't ever feel like they were grabbing. They seemed okay on light dirt roads, you know, like a fully formed dirt road, but on grass, mud, etc., the Bridgestone battle axe just didn't seem to cut it at all. I have a funny feeling that this Motoz Tractionator GPS will do really, really well in mud, possibly on grass, but the ridge down the middle of the tyre may make a difference with that. I'm not sure as yet, but that'll happen in the next few weeks. I will be doing some more off-roading, waiting on my crash bars, my engine crash bars to arrive, so that if I do manage to completely mess it up and I do drop the bike on its side, I don't end up caving in the whole side of my bike. So I just went in to pay for my fuel, and because I've got the camera on the helmet, even though it's a modular helmet with the front of it flipped up so the camera was pointing up at the ceiling and the microphone's not plugged in or anything, the guy jokingly behind the counter says, no, I don't consent to be filmed, etc. You know, and he was like, he was joking about, but we actually had a conversation about how many people probably get filmed in other people's YouTube stuff, and they actually haven't given consent to that because they were never asked. And I think if you are going to actually film people somewhere, like in a service station or something, then it's polite to ask them. Like when I went to see my mechanic yesterday get the front tyre put on the bike, you know, I said to him, I said, can I video this for my channel? And he's like, I'd prefer it if you didn't. You know, it's courtesy to ask somebody if you're going to put them on your channel. Especially if you're going to actually feature them on there. Like if you're just walking through somewhere and somebody goes past, like the people who crossed the crossing a moment ago, there's a whole difference with that versus I'm actually talking to this person specifically in front of me and I'm recording them. Whether they're aware of it or not, they should be made aware of it, and they should be asked whether or not they consent to having their, you know, their image on the video. I mean, if they don't consent, it's easy enough to blur their face out. You know, that's not a hard thing. But it does make me wonder just how many people get filmed in a YouTube video, don't realise they're being filmed, or if they did realise, they would not consent to being on film. I mean, the other thing that goes with that is, safety wise, you could be filming, like, you know, walking through a shop or something with your helmet on, or just filming as you're walking through a shop. What if you film, for instance, a lady who's escaped from domestic violence, and her husband happens to see the video that you've just put on YouTube, and she's in a completely different part of the country or something, doesn't matter what country or wherever, but you know, you might have said, oh, I'm at Park Beach Plaza in Coffs Harbour, which is where I'm at right now. You might have said in the video, I'm at Park Beach Plaza in Coffs Harbour. So instantly that guy knows that his partner who's escaped his domestic violence is in around Coffs Harbour. And that's kind of terrifying to think of, that you could inadvertently put somebody on your video just walking around through the shopping centre, and their abuser may track them down because of it. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, nice to see that they've made the motorcycle parking so much smaller. Also, they could make this, whatever it is, space. That's weird.